Hey YouTube, figured we'd take a break from my 3000 GT build and we could talk about guns a little bit. Today, I bought the TruGlo Red Dot sight at, I think it was at Bass Pro Shops. It was about $70. I was a little worried about buying a cheap optic, but I figured I'd give it a try, see what it's about. It's dual color, so you have 5 brightness levels for green or red, and it's just a regular dot. Um, so I put it on my AK and went to the range to, get it sighted and see what it was all about. And I was thoroughly disappointed. Um, I'll show you the optic itself. Now, just holding it, it feels actually pretty well made. Looks pretty well made for, $70 China optic. But it just did not perform at all. So I put it on my AK, and it seemed like no matter what adjustment I made, no matter what I did, I was way off target. I actually had to apologize to the guy in the lane next to me because I was aiming at my target and hitting his. And yes, I knew which target was mine. So, yeah. Now, that happened because the lens right here, you can actually see a little chip right there. As I was shooting, it was working itself loose, and eventually I took a shot and the lens completely popped out. Now you saw I didn't put that much force into it to pop that lens out. It hit the ground and cracked, and very, very disappointed. So I was way off target because as I was shooting, the lens was working loose and wasn't sitting straight inside the optic as it should be. Another thing with it is, I don't know how most optics are. We're going to have to get creative here. But that's your side-to-side adjustment right there. You can see, with enough force, you can wiggle that around. So I think that was also part of my issue as well. Especially being on an AK-47 with no sort of compensator at all. Those of you who shot AKs, they got some recoil. It's not crazy, but they got a bit of recoil. They're not like an AR or a 22 that is fairly easy to shoot. The AKs have a good amount of recoil. So for cheap optic, if you're looking to put something cheap on like a 22 just to go plinking with and you don't really care, this might actually be a decent optic. I would recommend putting a little bit of super glue or something on the edge around the lens, try and keep it in there. But with no recoil on a 22, I think it would work just fine for that application. Now for AK-47, and this might even work on an AR that's still chambered in 223. I personally probably wouldn't buy it for an AR. I definitely wouldn't buy it again for an AK. It's actually going to go back to the store. Just very, very disappointed. Like I said, it was a cheap optic. I knew I could have some trouble with it, but I mean, come on, the lens falling out after about 20 rounds. 20 rounds, the lens fell out. Not happy.